All right. I'm Christopher, or I'm Chris Bell, and today I am going to illustrate some of the Get to Know About Me song. I did this a couple of days ago, and so we are on the next one. Let me know how the white balance is. I think I can adjust it a little bit. Does that do it? Oh, I'll zoom in a little. That's part of the problem. Okay, you guys can see that, I think. Okay, so this is what I did last time. Let's go through it real quick. So here's a song to get to know about me. My name, my age, my gender identity is I just did this. My height, I have this. It's like a measuring tape that turns into, and then you're like, it has my height on there. My favorite game, I put Pac-Man. It's close. I play Pac-Man in times of stress and when I need to relax. So it's probably my favorite game. And this is where I live now, and this is where I'm from. They're the same place, although I'm moving soon. But here. Why is it missing? I did a picture of Long Island, which is where I live. And I did a check mark for where I was from and that I live there. I literally just had it. I had all the pages. And I must have dropped it or something. It's totally gone. Okay, and then what I do for work is I do printing. And what I hope to become is an illustrator. To get paid to do kids' books and stuff. Because I do get paid to do some illustrations. But to do more would be great. I got a bunch of job offers, actually. So we just did a craft fair this weekend. Well, here, let me get on the next one. The guilty pleasure. So I don't have that done yet. So let's get that on here. So we did a bunch of craft fairs. I think for the guilty pleasure, I think you guys will get it. I'm just going to do, well, here, I'm going to show, I'll draw it. Yeah, so we did the craft fair over the weekend. It was crazy busy. It was probably our best craft fair financially. And we got a lot of job offers, future job offers. So I emailed a bunch of people, and we'll do some more emails tomorrow. But yeah, like somebody was telling me online, like it's not always about making direct money from a craft fair. A lot of the time, it's just it's about also generating leads, and like a craft fair can also be a type of advertising. And so I really felt that this time over the weekend, it really felt like oh, my chat's not on. Sorry. Hi, Goblin. Hi, Estabel. Sorry, my chat was weird. I'm back though. Okay, yeah, so I really felt it over this weekend. Like, there was a lot of people who were interested in our stuff. And at different times, people have been like, oh, you should do a kid's book, which we're still doing. That'll be the stream tomorrow, is drawing more of the Blub Blub kids book on paper. And then, but this time, people were like, hey, I have a kid's book that I'm trying to illustrate. I would like to hire you. Can you give me your email address? I want your card. And we have cards, so that was easy. We made cards for the last craft fair. I did it in a rush the night before. And then because I work in a print shop, I was able to print them out and cut them and everything. But yeah, good thing I did because we needed them this time. Usually we just slip them in people's bags, but this time people were asking for the business cards a lot, and we had people take like 2 and 3. It is a donut. Oh, that's great. We had somebody bring us donuts at the craft fair yesterday. It was so friggin' awesome. Yeah, Goblin says he has donuts. Lucky. I don't want it to be too over the top, like too detailed. I think this is pretty good, and then we'll do just some sprinkles. I have to be careful because I will definitely, I guess I should do some foreshortening on the ones that are like this. I will definitely just like draw all the sprinkles going in one direction. It takes me a lot of like thinking to make sure I don't accidentally do that. Okay, so what I kind of do is I just go in one direction, or if this, right now I'm doing left and right, I'm doing like kind of up and down this way. And then I'll turn the paper, twist it, and then I'll do some more. And that'll help me do them in different directions. Yeah, I have to try to remember too, like, how the donut's not like flat. Okay. Ooh, chocolate. Chocolate with sprinkles is good as long as it's not filled. I like jelly donuts, as long as the jelly's good. I'm actually really picky about my jelly donuts, but I do like jelly donuts. I don't generally like cream-filled donuts. I mean, listen, I like donuts, and I like those donuts also, but they're not my fave. Okay, so now no, it's the same way. Okay. Here we go. This is definitely different. So like this is pointing right at us, so there's no foreshortening here. And then over the curve, there's a little foreshortening. Now I'm just saying foreshortening, which is what you fry donuts in. Oh yeah. Yeast dough with icing. Yeah, yeast dough, I like yeast dough a lot. But I do not mind a good fried donut at all. Oh man, at the fair. So last time at the craft fair, we saw a wigwam, and I got to go inside a wigwam for the first time, and it was so cool. I friggin' love wigwams. But last time at the fair, I mean this time, most recently, we saw butterfly bushes, and there were so many butterflies, just like, I'd say like a dozen at any given time, and like a bunch of them would be flying around. I got some video of it. I think I had cream filled donuts once and then never again because it was really, yeah, it's not really my thing. I like a cream filled donut sometimes. Like I'll eat one. It's not something I don't like, but I would not choose one for myself. I don't think ever. Um, but if somebody was like, "Oh my God, this place has the best Boston cream donuts anyone has ever had ever. You should totally try one." I might buy my regular donut that I like and also buy a Boston cream. You know, if somebody thought it was somebody I trusted thought it was the best donut ever. This is a pretty good. I think these sprinkles have worked out. I don't mind even that they got a little sloppy. Okay, so this is my guilty pleasure, and it really is. Hi, Aubrey. We're doing the Get to Know About Me song. We're on Guilty Pleasure. The next is Pet Peeve, Something I Like, a Goal That I Hope to Someday Achieve, and Can I Draw a Bike? Okay. Yeah, we'll do some, I'll definitely do a stream where I do some quick color of these. I'd actually really like to do that because I will use Yeah, sprinkles are good. Does everyone call them sprinkles? I know like some people call them jimmies and some people call them, what do they call them in the UK? And I think Australia also is hundreds and thousands. Oh no, wait. I think hundreds and thousands are the tiny circle ones, like nonpareil coating ones. But I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe it's not that specific. I think I heard that somewhere. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit of shading and then we will move on while I think about um, my pet peeve. Some people say Jimmy's. No one says David's, which is probably right. Oh, okay. Jimmy's does not equal 100,000. Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I think I agree with you there, Oddfud. All right, so my pet peeve is, gosh, this is a hard one. I don't like to be upset about things, but I definitely have pet peeves. I just don't like to think about them. So maybe Oddfoot knows. She knows me pretty well. Maybe she knows a pet peeve I have. If I have one that kind of bothers me that I could do, okay, I'm gonna do it. It's on like signs and stuff. Homer. Homer, eat that. Be careful. Yeah, I'm with you. I think you're right. I just watched an episode of The Simpsons, so but there was no donuts in it. Although he did mention donuts. He always mentions donuts. Oh, all my rulers are downstairs. Okay, I'll just draw a straight line as straight as I can. So I have been thinking a lot about Halloween because I want to do some Halloween drawings. I really like doing some Halloween drawings last year. And so I want to do like a ghost and, like a jack-o'-lantern, some Halloween drawings. So, can you guys see this? Yeah, I think you can. So one of my pet peeves is when it's like, I'm just going to call it the store because I can't think of, I don't want to like call out any specific business. But when the sign or any sign is like, here, I'm going to, hmm. Ooh, Michael Myers drawing is really good. Goblin, I hear you. Like when people or like when like a loud noise out of nowhere, even if I'm talking to somebody and then, oh, thank you so much, Aubrey. And like they suddenly they like stop for a moment and then they get louder. Like, oh my God, that makes me so crazy. Like I jump. I probably have some sort of, well, maybe not phonophobia exactly, but okay, so I don't know if this is going to be clear. I guess I'll do all caps. Oh man, I'm gonna run out of space. I made everything too big. Or yeah, too big. Well, actually, that's kind of part of it. So I think so. What really gets me is when it's called kerning. And it's when like I'm just gonna I'm gonna give this self more space on the left here. When like so okay, a mini typesetting lesson. So one thing that is my pet peeve is when things are kerned poorly, and kerning is about the space between letters. And the reason is like, except for monospaced fonts, there's different space between each letter. So for instance, if you have an A and a W, capital W, or even lowercase, it is much closer together because you have the W kind of overlaps the letter or goes into the A's box. And so that's really good kerning. They're together, they belong like that. What can sometimes happen is you'll have an A, and then the W won't start until all the way over here. And it just doesn't look natural on a typed page. So like, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, when somebody's playing really loud music, I'm always like at their house, whatever. I'm not gonna be sad about that. But on the road, specifically, it can feel, especially like in the evening or in a residential neighborhood, it can feel really bad. But you see, like the spacing, the A is just outside of the W space, the E is just outside the W space. But it looks weird. You would want it to look more like this. And it won't have this big space between the A and the W. So, yeah, I'm going to be live tomorrow. So that's my pet peeve, is when people do kerning poorly. But I don't get as mad about it as some graphic designers. That's why I was hesitant to call it a pet peeve. Because some graphic designers, it like, they feel like somebody murdered them. I shouldn't say that on stream. They feel like somebody hurt, like, yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to repeat. I don't need to. What's been said's been said. Okay. So I'm going to try again to make this little fake sign. I don't know. I'm going to aim for, it's Tuesday. I'm going to aim for 7. Um, yeah, I'm going to aim for 7. 7 my time. It is 9:27 now, so 7 Eastern Standard Time is probably the best. New York City time. Ooh, I just thought of a real pet peeve that really gets me. Is when people pronounce, oops, when people pronounce ye as thee. Thank you, Aubrey. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for your support. Okay, like when it says like ye old store, like this isn't really supposed to be a Y. The history is that's supposed to be a thorn, or like a lowercase thorn, I think. But it's supposed to be pronounced TH. And even in olden times, they would have pronounced that a TH. It would have been a the old store. And so I know in modern English we would pronounce this ye, but it's not right. It's a pet peeve of mine. But here, I'll do kerning. We got the, and we'll get the T and the H really far apart. Okay, I'm just gonna box this out a little. It doesn't have to be really good. It's only gonna be on screen for like a split second. And maybe this isn't even the right representation because, well, I'll do like we'll clean this up a little when I get a ruler. We can do like the space between, like that. We'll have these little arrows. Oh, hi, Cosplay Crazy. And then we'll just say kerning on top. And then people will know that that's my pet peeve, bad kerning. And then I'm going to scan all these in, like I said, and I'll do a stream while I do a cover. Ooh, yeah. Vocal stimming is great. What doesn't it say, Oxford? That's bad lettering. I was thinking about the difference between lettering and typesetting and like the difference between a font and a typeface. I think I'll make shorts about it, but like a font is the instructions for a computer to display a typeface on your computer. Oh my gosh, of course, the sign should say bad kerning. Okay, we'll have to redo the sign. Not today, we'll move on today, but that is such a good idea. Yeah, maybe I'll even like put it on a storefront or something. Like a donut storefront. Okay, so the next one is something I like. Hmm. That's so like I had the guilty pleasure. You know what I really like is watching TV. Oh, autocorrect. You looked you look like Felix from Stray Kids. Oh, look him up. Okay, I will look him up. Let me write this down. Felix. I like finding doppelgangers. I know of Felix. He was my ring bearer, I think, at my wedding. Felix from Stray Kids. I say I think. He definitely was. Ooh, Roar. I used to do that one. Like a lot. Okay, so we'll do a TV. I love TV shows. I watch a lot of cartoons. That is probably just like a straightforward something I enjoy. Oh, it got a little. So, one thing that I think is really interesting is like we all know that a TV in general, like a real life modern TV, just looks like this basically, and it has little legs, or even more likely it's just mounted on the wall behind it, and it's just a little box with a little bit of a black outline, and like the really nice ones have barely any black outline, and it's just like a picture floating off the wall. But like very often when you want to draw a TV to see, like, to show somebody TV is what I'm trying to say. You draw like a really old-fashioned TV, and I just think that's really interesting. There's a lot of stuff like that. That's like what is it when things are out of time? Anachronistic, like chronos, time. Yeah. All right. We had, when I was growing up, we did not have cable. We did not have, we just had broadcast TV, and we lived so far away from any place that we just got two channels, which is better than some places I've lived. Um, so the only cartoons I could ever see were Saturday morning, and if the signal was bad, which would happen pretty often, ooh, help in a monotone voice. Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah. I'm drawing my grandma's TV right now, so that makes a lot of sense. I am literally drawing the TV my grandma had. It was like this, and then there was like lines here that were not like vents, it was like fake wood decoration, and then there was like a panel that had all the buttons like for power and all that stuff. Although it usually had the door closed, but I'm just going to draw it open. I think it makes it more visually interesting. And then I guess I will do a little 3D about it. I don't... Yeah, that's fine. A little like... do that. Oh, that's great. Yeah. So I lived with my grandma until I was about 7, and then she moved out, and we stayed in the same place. And I used to go to my grandma's house because she did have cable, and we would watch TV. I loved going to grandma's house because of that. And I love my grandma. She baked a lot and did really good breakfasts. She spoiled me, so I liked it because of the spoiling also, the being spoiled. But yeah, oh man, when we had one of these TVs and it had the rabbit ears on it. But we also had like a giant on top of the roof antenna. Like it was crazy. I grew up in my grandparents' house, so that's probably why. I'm trying to make it suddenly felt like the front didn't feel like the front. So one trick I've learned is if you want something to appear like it's the front or the focal, you should really give it a thick outline. I learned this from reading about cartoons actually. So yeah, I love being in grandma's house for Saturday morning. But if I was at home, we'd have to use the antenna and try to find cartoons on Saturday morning. And if the signal wasn't strong enough, if the weather was bad or something, it would be in black and white, which happened a lot. And until I was older, we didn't even have a color TV. Oh, ooh, yeah, she loves watermelon. That's great. Oh, yeah, she taught you how to pick out watermelons. I read about everything. I was reading about picking out watermelons. Um, that's a really great, like, what a fun memory to have. And what a good thing to learn from your grandma who has tons of experience picking out watermelons, especially if she loves them. How does she cut them? Now I'm really curious. Because there's so many different ways to cut watermelons. Okay, I think this is a pretty good. I'm going to darken all this stuff up in the back. Try to give it some depth again. Try to make it like not feel like it's on the same plane as this. I'm going to bring that even steeper also for the same reason. Yeah, my grandma, she kind of stopped cooking. She started eating a lot of like things that she could put in the microwave. One Saturday morning. Okay. All right, what's the next one? So I have guilty pleasure, pet peeve, something I like. Oh yeah, this is a really good something I like. I like TV a lot. Um, a goal that I hope someday to achieve. Okay, yeah, yeah. Like, so is that with the rind goblin? So you say she likes to do triangle shapes or little squares. That's when we have watermelon, we always have it in cubes. Like, it'll just be cut into basically cubes. When I was a kid, we always had like the classic TV watermelon. Uh, like that with the rind. But I could see like if you do it in like Well, I guess there's all sorts of ways. So let's do a goal that I hope someday to achieve. So I think you guys know this. You're here with me a lot. But what I'm trying to achieve right now is just to, it doesn't, we'll work on the next part of it, but we wrote that kids book, that picture book, and I would love to finish illustrating it. And I'm working on it day by day. It's getting closer and closer. I do it on the stream sometimes, and I also do it just like, in the evenings after. Uh, but yeah, if I could get that picture book illustrated, that is a really big goal for me. It's something I've wanted for a long time. It's part of why I became an illustrator, why I started illustrating. So I think it'll be a really good goal to achieve. I think that's what I want to put in for the song. Oh, you know what? I guess I have it open and it looks actually messy. I mean, like I made a mistake. But I think I'm gonna have it closed because then I can put on the cover illustrated by, because that's what I really want. Oh, feel better, Goblin. Take care. Yeah, thanks for coming in. Always good to see you. All right. Yeah, so I think I'll do it closed. I can do like is this on camera? Yeah. We'll do like this. Straight. Straight. This is a little to the side. That's fine. We'll do that. Yeah, definitely feel better. Yeah, so the craft fair was crazy. We met some old friends that we hadn't seen in a long time. We are living back in our hometown. We're moving pretty soon, so it's good to, if we're gonna meet people that we haven't seen, we should do it now. It's the last chance. Although we probably will still come back here and do craft fairs. We're working on getting a car and making plans about driving how to drive down here. Huh, we haven't. I think I'm gonna do it so that. No, I like it the way it is. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it so you can see the spine. Hmm. Okay, yeah, that looks fine. And we'll say like, we'll just do like picture book. Book. Picture. Yeah. I I get so um I really don't like it when I like try to write something and it just doesn't fit and I feel so silly. Um, Especially because I worked as a graphic designer for so long and it just feels like if you could do one thing right, it should have been that. Uh, so I try to always plan everything out, even if you just do it really quickly. Like here. Oh, hi, Nasir. Welcome, welcome. I don't know if I say it in the pinned whatever, but I'm doing the here's a song to get to know about me thing. I'm on a goal that I hope someday to achieve, which is something you guys know if you've been on the stream before. I'm illustrating Blub Blub, the picture book. I should have called this Blub Blub. What was I thinking? It's already done. I can change it when I scan it in. Picture book, and we can even draw Blub Blub on the cover. We'll be waving. Blub Blub is an elephant. If you don't know, if you haven't been here, Blub Blub is an elephant, not an elephant, an octopus. Uh, he's a picture book that my wife wrote and I helped with, and now I am illustrating on some streams. It's actually sitting right next to me. It's at my desk right here. And I illustrated it before, and I did it like in a rush instead of trying to do it good, and I it was more important that I got it done, and I was like, we can, like, blah blah blah, and I was still learning illustration, and so it wasn't very good. And so I'm really lucky to, we found it again. We had lost it for a few years, and I'm really lucky to be able to have it again and to be a good enough illustrator that I feel confident that it'll look nice. And so I'm really happy and I'm really lucky to be able to illustrate it. And I'm very excited. I've always wanted to illustrate a kid's book since I was young, a picture book since I was young. There we go. And so I'm doing it. As long as I don't stop, which I don't see myself doing, that'll get done. And I actually, people saw my illustrations at the craft fair, and somebody said they had a picture book that they would really like to have me illustrate. And another friend of mine said they had a picture book that idea that they would like me to work on. And yeah, so I got a lot of people who believe in my art style and want picture books based on it. So that'll be really fun. Me. So that, there you go, illustrated by me. We went into the bookstore the other day and we looked at some of the picture books and to see like if I could hold up to them, right? Like I still have a little bit of imposter syndrome, even though I'm trying really hard to just get over it. So yeah, I think this works, an illustrated picture book illustrated by me. I think that works for the goal I hope one day to achieve. So the next one is, can I ride a bike? So I'm gonna draw a bike. There is an art question that I've seen in art class before where they tell you like draw a bike, and it's to show like how you don't really know what a bike looks like. So I have drawn a bike before quite a bit because of that art challenge. So let's see if I can do it right now. So I remember how they work, and that helps me a lot. There's a surprising amount of drawn bikes that just wouldn't actually ride. So handlebars are separate, and they attach to the front wheel. And then there's like this so that they can spin. And then everything else is pretty straightforward. You have this part with a seat somewhere. Oh yeah, that, like kind of like that. Gosh, I just said straightforward. If I now cannot do it, I'll be so embarrassed. Okay, now this looks right. And then you have pedals. That's too high up. Maybe this is lower. Pedals. Can everybody ride a bike? I didn't have a bike for a long time, but I got one again recently. But then I haven't been riding it. And then there's this part, which is the chain. And over here there's gears. Ooh, you know what's really interesting about bikes is they don't know how they work. So they know how they work, like you pedal and that pushes the back wheel and that pushes you forward. But one thing that's really interesting about a bike is if you just push a bike and let it go, it keeps itself up. Like if you push it downhill or if you push it fast enough on the street, it keeps itself standing up as it goes. And there's a bunch of little things that help with that. And sometimes people say, oh, we know how it works because it works this way or it works that way. But they've built machines that eliminate all those things. And then the bike still self-rights. It still stands up. So that's not how they work. We don't know how they work. It's like your helmet or whatever, your backpack. When I was a kid, I loved riding bikes. I rode bikes everywhere. In the woods, not in the woods. It was crazy. We were crazy kids. It's scary riding a bike in a city. I don't know if I would do it. I grew up in the middle of nowhere. I think this is a pretty good bike. I'm gonna say yes and move on to the next question. We can get some more detail on this at a later time. And there's like streamers that are on kids' bikes. I love that little bell. Bring, bring. I like how different sized bells say different things. You have a really big bell, it says bong, bong. And if you have a slightly smaller bell, it says dong, dong. And then you get all the way down to bring, bring, or and that's just funny to me. Like, bells make all sorts of different noises. They say different words. It's like dogs, right? Really, really big dogs are like woof, woof. And then like small dogs are like yip, yap, yip, yip, yap. And bells are the same thing. Is that true of humans? Do like really, really big humans say, hang on, I'm going to check off some of this stuff. We've done all the way up to pet peeves, something I like, something I hope someday to achieve. Can I ride a bike? Ooh, favorite place I've been to. So, yeah, okay. So I've not traveled a ton. I've been to, like, Florida Keys. I've been to Utah. And I've been to, like, Pennsylvania and upstate New York City, places like that. Philadelphia. But I'm not, like, that's pretty limited for a lot of the people in my age that I know. But I think, like, my favorite place I've been to is probably the beach, which, like, maybe isn't the exact answer that they thought, but I'm trying to think, should we do, like, sand and then water and, like, waves? Or should we do it from the ocean? You're on the water and you're looking at the land. I guess I'm doing that. And you have like little beach grass. And the beaches by me have these little fences. Little fences. And you have like hills and little, like I guess it's called dunes when it has the beach grass on it. Garbage cans over here. Some like pine trees behind you. Or behind them. I guess I need to draw a little darker because I know it's hard to see. Or I think it is. It's hard to see on the screen that I get to look at to judge if you guys can see. But maybe it's not that bad for you guys. I don't know. Some pine bushes back here. like one of these big fences, like at a parking lot or something. So we're not too far offshore. You kind of see a lot going on. More. Okay, so then we'll have sand and we'll have like the edge of the water. We can have like some surf, some waves. And then we'll have like yeah, let's have like a wave kind of that way. I've never drawn this before. So, okay, I think it's kind of working. That's the like wave, a few waves in front of this one, like crashing onto the sea, onto the shore. And like this is the shore, you can tell because I just drew a shell on it. Okay. And then, yeah, this is like a wave that is cresting right now. There's that famous Japanese piece of art, the wave. And it said that that artist, very influential artist, like whole over the whole world of all of over all of art. I cannot remember his name, but he did tons of woodcuts, really commercial stuff. He was like a pop artist of his time, but his art survived and is really influential. And in that way, he's one of the most influential artists of all time. All right, I think that's very oceany. The beach. Especially we throw a little color on here. We like separate the sand from the water. I think that'll help. This is the sand, this is the water. I can like kind of shade in the water. I think that might help a little. Okay. So he went to the ocean like every day for years, if I remember correctly. Um, just drawing waves. He really, that's like that picture, the famous picture of the wave like breaking up, and he that's like the culmination. That's like the 700th time or something that he drew a wave. So the beach is my favorite place I've been to. A place I want to go. That's a really interesting question. Um, hmm. I don't know. A place I want to go. You know what? I do know. I want to go to London. So how do I draw that? Okay, I'll draw Big Ben. I don't really know what Big Ben looks like. So, and I can't look it up because my phone is in use filming this. So I'm going to do my best guess. It's going to be wrong. So I'll do another one after. That's right. Favorite time of year. Okay, we'll do that one after. Oh yeah, I could do the London Eye. So then for that one you have like the Thames in the background. Over here is like London Bridge, which I also don't know what it looks like, but that's fine. London Bridge. And then here you have like the London Eye. And that's just like blop. And then it's just like a bicycle wheel almost. I know this from Doctor Who. The London Eye, baby. It's a giant Ferris wheel. Is this a Ferris wheel? Yeah. It's a giant Ferris wheel. And it's like right on the edge of the Thames, from my understanding, from my memory. And it's got little like houses in there that actually are so small. Not houses, little like gondola seats. And they're actually so small from this distance. Like, I don't know how many people can sit in the London Eye, but it must be massive. because it's huge. It like towers over the city. I know at least for a while it was the biggest ever Ferris wheel. Ferris was the guy who invented Ferris wheels, or one of the guys who made it popular. I don't think he actually invented it, but it took me forever to learn Ferris was a person's name. It just never occurred to me. Yeah, so I think Ferris Wheels was a brand, and it just became his were so good and so popular that that just became the default name for them. Here we go, London Eye. And then I know there's like a something in the middle a little bit. There's like probably like that so it doesn't roll away. Something like this, and there's probably well, there's definitely buildings on the other side. And there's probably like buildings and stuff down here. And like maybe there's Big Ben in the background. And what's the Houses of Parliament? No, Buckingham Palace? I can't remember. Big Ben is like attached to one of those things. I think Houses of Parliament. Big Ben rings on the radio, and it's live streamed. It's not a recording, which is crazy. Ooh, yeah, Ferris wheel. How you doing, Sapley? Oh my god. Yes. He's like, yo, 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 yo. That's a 2000s white rapper. My impersonation. Nice. We did a craft fair over the weekend, and we did pretty well. And then also we got a bunch of jobs. Probably, hopefully, we're gonna email and find out for if they're real. But a bunch of leads, I guess, is what they're called now that I'm a business person. Business, 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 business. Okay, so a place I want to go. Oh yeah, I want to go to London. I forgot. I forgot that's why I was drawing this. Maybe I'll draw like the London Eye, um, Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, 10 Downing Street. I can't think of any other. Oh, Stonehenge over here. It'll just be like all of England. Ah, I remember. I remember doing universities research. Oh, yeah, I could. I'm a scared person, so I get that. I knew a girl. I just met a girl recently who lived in India for 12 years. Yeah, I would believe it smells bad. Like, and I know there's a lot of like tourist traps and like or scams and stuff like that because it can be very touristy. But that's true of like Paris also. Okay. Favorite time of year? Ugh, that's hard because summer is amazing. Mmm. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, but I would believe that they would be harassed. I have, not to generalize India as a whole group of people by any means, but I know uh, just like in a lot of places, there can be like a I don't know what it's called when you're like you don't belong here. No, I've been thinking about it. I have a Twitch, maybe not for CMonsterYK, but I I don't know if I could do it at the same time or if I do it on different times or if I should do like just Pac-Man on on Twitch, or if I just shouldn't do it right now. Place I want to go. Favorite time of year. Yeah, nationalist is a really. That's exactly right. Okay, so I kind of want to say my favorite time of year is fall, just because it's kind of easy to draw a fall leaf, right? Yeah, I think for now I'll stick to one stream, but it sounds good. You can draw like all wrinkly and leaf falling from the tree. Yeah, I have always lived in a place with four seasons, and I don't know if I could like wet like wet season and dry season does not appeal to me. We had a family from India staying with us for a couple of months, and they talked about the weather and like how much they had to. Oh, that's really cool. I mean, I think you'll enjoy it. I don't know if you how you deal with cold, but if you dress correctly, it can be really great. I live on Long Island, which is on one of these sheets, so you already know that. For now, we're moving soon. And so the winters here are fine, but they're not like anything to write home about. They're winter, we get snow. It's not like Virginia where they're like, "Oh no, there's been an inch of snow. What shall we do?" And that's just like cars crashing over into each other and people driving at 100 miles an hour because they don't know how snow works, I guess. Oh. And this leaf turned out pretty good. And I moved to Pennsylvania, up in the mountains, on the west side of Pennsylvania there, and it was so cold. Like regularly got below zero, um, in the double digits below zero over the winter. And I was like, oh, this is going to be absolutely terrible. I don't know what I was thinking or like what I'm going to do. But I learned to dress in a bunch of layers and make sure I was like bundled up. And it turned out pretty good. I didn't mind it at all. It it was much less worse than I thought it would be. Still very cold, but not terrible. So I guess autumn. I guess I'm going with autumn. It's probably true. 100% for most of my life, I would have said autumn is my favorite time of year, fall. Yeah. Oh yeah, so many bugs, I believe it. And then like they don't ever get winterized, so they never like there's no population control. Yeah, I just learned it. I know it seems silly, but I didn't know that the leaves only change color in such a small, like in the Northeast, basically, of the United States. Because I've only ever lived in the Northeast. Oh yeah, they don't need to migrate. It like because I only ever lived in the Northeast, it was just something I totally didn't think of that that the leaves didn't change color everywhere. And then, like, of course, a lot of places south don't even have that type of season, so they don't change color there. But then, even some places, it's just like most of their trees are not the kinds of trees that change color, so they just don't. Oh, I don't know why I have a car here. I was drawing people who drive in Virginia and like, wow, in the snow. I don't know why I'm picking on Virginia. There's lots of places where people are like that. I'm going to draw one more leaf for autumn, and then I'll move on to the next question, which is random fact that no one knows. No, favorite TV show. What? Okay, I do know the answer to this. I wasn't sure right away, but I know my favorite TV show. Well, like, yeah, maybe it's not my favorite TV show all the time, but like if I was on a desert island and I can only bring one show, it might be this one. It would probably be this one, or maybe one that had a lot more episodes. But hmm, like like maybe a show that had so many episodes. That'd be pretty good. But this is not Desert Island. This is just my favorite TV show. So my favorite TV show. I guess I'll draw another TV. I can use the other TV actually that I already drew. So I'll just draw like a little square. Yeah, I don't have a favorite TV show, but I have a favorite series. Okay, okay. The Resident. Oh, is that that's which one is that? Is that about an autistic doctor? What's the series? So mine for sure is Batman the Animated Series. I think that is probably my favorite TV show. It's animated beautifully. I could watch the animations forever. I think like it has a lot of variation, a lot of interesting stories. Oh, The Good Doctor. Right, right. Okay, okay. Yeah, I used to really love quirky murder mysteries, right? The Good Doctor's the autistic one, and The Resident is like a quirky murder mystery. Um, yeah, I used to really love those, and then I just and all police procedurals. I like them a lot. I just kind of stopped liking them. I haven't even gone back and watched some of my old faves. Yeah, is Batman the end? I haven't watched it in a few years. I don't remember where I last watched it. It could have been Netflix. Could have been, sometimes I watch things on, like, BBC or something. Alright, so then, I don't know, I guess I'm just gonna have, oh yeah, I'll do, like, this will all be really dark, and then I'll have, like, a beam of light coming from the south, from down here, and it'll be the bat symbol. I just have the, like, boom, boom, boom. Hmm. Yeah, my first inspiration. That's a good question. It's probably from when I was young. Um, I was talking before about how like I read a lot of comic strips when I was at my grandma's house, and I really liked those, and like that definitely influenced my drawing. It's it might be I don't know what Batman's bat looks like. I'll have to look it up. Something this is a little ugly here. Um, oh gosh, it's probably an animated show. Yeah, up and then out and then down. That's pretty good. Up and then out and then down. Okay. Um, there's this TV show. No, there's this old movie that is one of like has been really influential to me. It's called Little Nemo's Adventures in Slumberland. Oh, all right. Take care, Sapley. Good luck. Yeah, Little Nemo's Adventures in Slumberland. No problem. Hope everything's alright. I'll be on tomorrow. I'm aiming for 7. My time. New York City time. And it turns out that actually one of the scenes that I really love in that Adventures in Slumberland is actually illustrated by and animated by the guy who does Studio Ghibli. It's Murakami, right? No, Murakami's the author. I can't remember his name right now. I don't want to say the wrong name, but the head of Studio Ghibli, or who used to be the head of Studio Ghibli, he animated a big chunk of this movie. If they like were thinking about having him do the whole thing. Um, Miyazaki, yes, yes, thank you. And then he ended up not doing it, but they kept the chunk of like sample animation that he had done in the movie. And I also really love the character Little Nemo, although I didn't know he was a comic strip and a book and stuff until much, much later. But that movie, man, for a long time, that was my favorite movie. And so it's probably that. It's probably had the most influence on me. I know Sapley asked the question. He's not here now, but all right. So I'm doing that Get to Know About Me song, and it asked my favorite TV show, and it's Batman the Animated Series. Definitely. So I really also like old TV shows, black and white even, like Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, um, Hitchcock Presents. That one's good. Okay, so we did a place I want to go, a favorite TV show, favorite time of year, and a random fact you might not guess. You might not guess. Surprise. Hmm. I don't know. Maybe maybe it's that I really like to program. I like to do math. Oh yeah, go for it, Elstefan. Maybe it's I think math is fun. That's a pretty good one. I bet you people wouldn't guess. But just because people don't think people think math is fun in general. So it wouldn't be on the top of anybody's list. Whoa. I told this story before, but when I was very little, I used to do baton twirling. I say very little. I was like 6 or 7. So we would have these batons, and like they were just these metal rods, and one side was, I wouldn't call myself straight, although I am in a heteronormative relationship. Um, I've never been a straight person. And I think I was definitely the only boy in baton twirling. But that's never bothered me. I've been a lot of. But yeah, my parents were really concerned about me doing baton twirling, and I was really insistent. I was like, baton twirling is awesome. Like they lead the parades. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean people aren't gonna like it? And what was really interesting was every example of somebody baton twirling that I could find was a dude. And so it was really hard for them to convince me that it wasn't something for guys to do. Which is good. They shouldn't have. It's none of their business. And so, yeah, I used to do baton twirling. I took like a summer class in baton twirling. I got to the part where we learned a couple of twirls. One of the one of the twists where you like flip it around in your hand with your fingers, and some of the more basic rules like why one side was heavier than the other. Um, I don't remember why that was. And then yeah, it was fun. I don't know how. So a lot of it is like a figure eight. Like you're not even twirling it really, you're twisting it. But then there were some twirls like you've wrapped around your thumb. I can't really do it now. But and then the way you throw it up in the air. Yeah. I think we'll do like hmm. I'm trying to think like what would make it look like movement. I draw I draw a cartoon every day. I should start sharing these. We had plans to share these actually a long time ago, the cartoons I draw every day. They're not like finished products most of the time. They're just for my wife. But okay, like kind of just like a ghost image, I think. That looks pretty twirly. And so I constantly am adding like little action scenes. And usually I just do this, like a ghost image. This doesn't really make sense. So I think what I'll do is I'll do the figure eight I drew. Clean that up a little. Or I won't do the figure eight, I guess. And then this will make more sense. And then the ghost image like feels more correct. Yeah, that looks pretty good for a quick one. All right. Yeah, I did baton twirling when I was really little. I did gymnastics. Uh, I did not get very far in gymnastics. I think like I learned I was young. I was very young, so I probably wasn't doing very much. But we like got on the bars and we did the what is it the vault the like where you the vault where you jump over the thing and we wore the like straps and jumped and like hung on the bars and swung on the bars. So like I say I didn't do a lot, but we practiced a lot of little things even if they didn't actually end up being like we didn't like do anything. I hung from the rings a lot. It was fine. It was fun. I don't even remember if I was good or not. I remember like I remember it being scary. Lots of things are scary. Doesn't mean you're not good at it. All right, so I used to do baton twirling. Yeah, used to do baton twirling, baby. All right, that's a random fact you might not guess. Thing that brings me joy and thing that brings me stress. So that's a really interesting one. I've already said TV, even though, I mean, TV definitely brings me joy. You know what brings me joy? Also drawing, but I also mentioned that. I think I'm going to do drawing again. I like... I think I'm going to do drawing again. Like, I love when you create, when you get like in the flow state and you're like, oh no. You know what brings me joy that I was just thinking about is I love to program. Like, I love programming. And like, I just find it so fun to write code to do something. You're like, oh no, you can't do this on a computer. And then you're like, oh, I made it so you can do it. Ah, 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 ah. I just feel like that's so great. I've been using user scripts, they're called. And basically, they can add JavaScript. It's just on your own computer. And they can add JavaScript or CSS or even HTML onto any website. So you can just like change how a website works and like how it displays. I mostly use it for just like literally like display things. I'm like, oh, I wish they didn't show this here. And often somebody else has also wished the same thing, and there'll already be a user script for that, and you can just download it and try it out. So I've been programming one for this very specific website that I use all the time, and I just did it for myself, but I ended up getting it more and more polished. Just like I would go to it's a website I read stuff on, and I would go to read stuff, and then I'd be like, ah, I wish it was just a little bit different, and then I would program the program. And it's gotten to the point where it's like getting very polished. And if I just added some options, I think basically just some options and some instructions, I could like upload it to the places where people upload user scripts, like GitHub, and people could also use it. Oh, yeah, I laughed like the count. Um, what is this? Brings me joy. Huh. It would be if then, I guess. I'm trying to think what else I like. You know what I could do? I know. Uh, the thing that brings me joy is probably um, another thing that brings me joy is I draw Stelly Steffi cartoon every day for my wife. So I will draw Stella and Steffi. They definitely bring me joy. It's something that has been... I'm going to take some more space. It's something that I have been doing for a few years now, and it's altered my life for the positive. Like, I part of my confidence and practice in drawing comes from these guys. I draw them, like I said, like every day. I'm using the wrong pencil. And not only that, but I drew them and I continue to draw them because my wife Fatima was having some depression, and I did this to cheer her up. And that brings me a lot of that brings me a lot of joy. So much. They bring me joy in so many different ways. And then they're real stuffies. So that also brings me joy, the actual stuffed animals. Love a good stuffed animal. I think it's funny, like Winnie the Pooh. Oh gosh, I had another one in my head, but I can't think of it now. There's a couple there's a couple kid stories that are just written about the children's stuffies. And like that's I write stories about my stuffies. Maybe one day that'll be a book. I don't know what it would be. I guess we could go through. I have thousands of comics I've drawn. Thousands, definitely hundreds. It's thousands, you need what? It's 365 times 2 is only like 7 something, 730 or whatever. So then you need like another one. That gets you to 1,000. So you need 6 years to get to thousands. Calvin and Hobbes. Oh yeah, yeah. Calvin Hobbes. Hobbes with his little boy stuffy Calvin. Man, like stuffy children. I guess those are called dolls. Dolls are creepy. So the little one's Stella. And the big one's Steffi. Steffi, Stella. They're together. What is... Oh, I'm singing Captain Planet. Captain Planet. Oh, I shouldn't sing on stream because then they'll be like, hey, somebody doesn't like you. They think you owe them money. Not that you make any money, so it doesn't matter. But still. Alright. So. I always do sound effects when I'm drawing. Mostly when I'm erasing, but when I'm drawing Stella Steffi, I for sure do sound effects. Her hair was drawn with a different pencil, and I could tell. Alright, yeah. Stella's asking, we bring him joy? And Steffi's saying, I don't know, I guess. Funny stuffies. Stella and Steffi and friends going on adventures and getting into trouble and getting out of trouble. Alright. What brings me stress? So right now, we're moving. And that brings me probably infinite stress. So I'm just gonna say that. I don't think it's worth digging too much more into it. That is probably one of the most stressful things. That, or maybe like going to the doctor. I don't know. Oh man. You know, like, when I don't know something and I need to like research it to try to figure out what it is I don't know, or like what is the actual truth of something, that brings me a lot of stress. But I like it. So that's a hard. I'm going to stick with moving. I think moving is still one of the most stressful things. They say it's one of the most stressful things in all of human existence. Yeah, I think that checks out. All right. So you're supposed to do like these lines. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That works. So one trick is you should always draw through, like, so this box hides this corner of this box, but you should always draw through to make sure it looks right. And I was trying to avoid that, so I didn't have to bust the eraser out again. But that's silly, because then it looks dumb, and like, you don't want to draw something that looks dumb. So if you draw through it and then you just bite the bullet and get the eraser out, especially when like this isn't the final product. Like, I'm going to scan this in, I'm going to color it, I might even redraw some of it that I think is too messy or too, like right now we're just getting kind of the ideas out for the Get to Know About Me song. And so you definitely want to draw through it. Now this box looks more or less right. And if I had not drawn through it, who knows? Who knows what it would have looked like? I mean, we saw, I didn't draw through it to start, and it looked terrible. That is not right. I'm trying to do like a flap. I'm just going to do it down, I think. And it has to be this long, because it has to fit into the thing. So you have to like... Is that right? The circle would have to be around here. Okay. So this one... Okay, so it goes... Okay, it's bigger than I thought. Alright. That worked. So I'm always open for suggestions for an animal to draw. I try to draw every suggestion I get. Sometimes I have a bad memory. So I do sometimes just forget that I've been given a suggestion. But I think most of the time, I draw them. So just... Okay. There's not a good... That's not a good line. We'll have it be kind of more straight open. There we go. I don't know why I made this box so complicated, but I did. So we're drawing a box. I'm doing things to get to know about me song. I'm doing the sketches here, and then I'll make it into a short later. I'll probably do some watercolor on it, digital watercolor on it. And this is at the this is things that bring me stress. And I'm in the middle of moving, so it's that. I think moving is one of the most stressful things you can do. Alright, so this is the box. We're just going to make it dark in the box. This should have a line. It doesn't have to be like pitch black. Let's just make sure it looks like it's not the outside. Alright. It's not bad. We'll give this one a little bit of more darkness. Even though usually I would do the one furthest away, which would be the black back. I'm going to do this one because, like, we're seeing so little of it. Yeah, there's something about here that is making me think that's what will look right. There we go. Clean that up. Yeah. So I think maybe we could do moving. We'll just kind of have it like being thrown into the moving house. And we can have it being like kind of thrown into the box. Um, I'll probably use typeset for this, and I'll literally get some, I'll do the typesetting program in design, and we can have it thrown in there. I think that'll look best instead of lettering it. Often I do think lettering something looks better, even if it's a lot more work. Um, but sometimes, like for this, I think having it be the actual, like a typeface will make it look better because, actually this doesn't look bad. Maybe we'll do something like that. Yep. Good night, Elstefan. No, I only have 2 more to answer, so I'm about to be done. Alright, moving house. That's pretty good. And how many siblings do I have? I have, let's see, my oldest sister, my next oldest sister, my next oldest sister, my older brother, me, my younger brother, and that's it. And then I have some stepsisters, stepsister, that's it. Yeah. So we'll do, I'm just going to draw hair on the girls. Sister, sister, sister. This is how they wore their hair most of the time. And older brother. I cannot remember how he wears his hair. Oh yeah, sometimes he wears his hair long, so I don't want to do that. And then this is me. I'll do beard for me. Younger brother. Huh, he also wears his hair long. And youngest brother wears a baseball cap. I think this is an okay way to do it. I don't know if I should have made them a little bit more separated, but, and then I'll just go, well, me. We can do like sisters. You guys see that? Yeah. Sisters, 1, 2, 3. Yep. And then brothers. One, 2, 3. That's pretty good. I mostly lived with these 2 sisters. And this brother. And this brother a lot too. This sister is much older than me. She was in school. This brother, he just never really lived with us for other reasons. Alright. And then the last one is shoe size. I don't know. I have a guess. I always think I get confused about European and American and English and China. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half. Okay, so I'm doing my shoe size right now. No, that'd be great. But I'm not doing that. I am doing it now, but that was not my intention. So I'll do another one after. I'll do what I was going to do after. You know, they had a x-ray that it did continual x-rays into the dang um, shoe, into the, so it was like a box. They had this thing when x-rays first came out, and it was a box like this, and it was in a lot of shoe stores. And there's like at the bottom, right, there was like a little curtain, like two little curtains, right? And there was a screen up here, and they shot x-rays out from down here up to this screen. So you would stick your foot under the curtain, and it would shoot x-rays up, and on the bottom on the floor, or actually like up in here, there was like a thing with a size guide. And so the x-rays wouldn't pass through there, and it wouldn't pass through your bones, and it would shoot up, and you would see an image of your skeleton foot and the sizer up there. And the problem was, like, taking an x-ray, they do it for a split second, right? It's like pop, and it's fine. It's not that much. It's less than taking a plane flight, right? And the only reason the people in there who aren't you have to wear like those lead things, or they go behind the wall, is because they're constantly taking x-rays. And if you're getting constant x-rays, that's when you have a problem. And that's exactly the problem with this foot shooter thing, is it was constant x-rays, and nobody knew x-rays were that dangerous. Well, some people did, but nobody knew x-rays were that dangerous. So like people would just come in and stick their foot in and look at the skeleton and think that was so fun. And like, yeah, it sucked. Okay, so I'm doing my shoe size. This is the last question. I'm gonna finish after I'm done drawing my shoes for the night. I'm on tomorrow again at 7. So that'll be fun. I think, no, I'm pretty sure, unless something changes, I'm drawing a page from the Blub Blub the picture book that I've been working on. Alright. So probably I will just take the best shoe and copy it, but let's draw a bunch and see how they come out. It's always good to keep drawing stuff because you get better and better. So like there's so many times I think things suck. This isn't a very good, I like thought this was a good idea, and I don't hate the idea, but like, why did I do the bottom of the shoe? I guess I could do the top of the shoe and like be all like that. That doesn't look good. Actually, that looks okay. I'm gonna do that. I'm turning these into top of shoe. Tongue, lace, and that. The side of the shoe, the side of the shoe, the tongue, the hole in the shoe, and the shoelace. It's not terrible. There we go. Okay, we can go even simpler and just kind of Oh, here's one that we're drawing from scratch. Oh, that's much better. But I should have done it from the side. Because, like, a shoe from the side looks pretty good. It's much simpler to draw. And then the little sole. Make sure it has a little sole. A little loop. Yeah, that's a shoe. Alright, I'll keep going with this. Because it's time for me to stop streaming. And I might use this. This doesn't look bad. I'll have to see. But yeah, so now that I have all the drawings, or at least all the ideas for the drawings, I'll do a short that'll be like, here's the things you get to know about me. Or whatever it is. Not here's the things you get to know about me, although that is the accurate answer to what's happening. Like, alright, anyway. You can tell I'm getting a little loopy. We did like 14-hour days for the craft fair, which is fine. We don't do them all the time, so it's not like the end of the world or anything, but it does make you tired. Alright, 10.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1/2. Alright, thanks so much for joining me while I did the things to get to know about me, all 23. And I hope you'll come see me tomorrow at 7 New York City time. I don't know why I keep saying New York City time. It's E7 East Coast US time. I will be on the stream, and I'm going to do a page in the picture book we've been working on. Blub Blub, the Shy Elephant. I don't have any pages here. Oh, I have a picture of the picture book that I drew. Anyway, thanks so much. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.